This run it straight challenge is the equivalent of 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place. Because the reality is, guys, no one's going to win. And what's even worse is that we have a bunch of leaders promoting and encouraging this type of behavior on YouTube. And these leaders are renowned and established within the New Zealand community as being funny and enjoyable to watch. And now they're doing this for clout. And I don't know what's worse, seeing a bunch of Pacific Islanders encouraging and embracing the common stereotype that they get brushed with when they enter New Zealand, or the fact that someone died from it and no one on social media, none of the biggest social influencers have really done anything to showcase any type of remorse and say, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't be doing this idiotic, barbaric sport that helps no one, that only results in everyone getting hurt involved, and most of all, potentially killing people in the process. I know it's a lot to take in, guys, but take it from someone who's had a brain injury. Last year in November, I had a car crash where someone hit me side on because they were vision impaired. And they didn't see me at all because they were cross-eyed. It was really unfortunate, but following the crash, guys, I thought I was fine. I was like, it's okay, I'll walk it off, I'll go home, I'll be at work tomorrow, who cares, Yeah, I was so wrong. All of a sudden, the level of pain shot through the roof. I couldn't talk properly, light was hurting me, sound was hurting, everything hurt. I was in so much pain. And yeah, unfortunately, guys, I had a pretty bad brain injury. And I'm still recovering it to this day. I can barely sit in front of a screen for longer than an hour. I'm having to build up the tolerance, but it shouldn't be this way. And I didn't know that brain injury was this bad until I had one. And the reality is, guys, is that brain injury isn't really an isolated incident. Basically, if you're someone like me who played rugby their whole life, which is very common in New Zealand, you have a decent amount of trauma to your body as well as your head. And if you suffered domestic abuse as a child, which a lot of Pacific Islanders do, which is what you guys need to pay attention to here, all of these things add up. And unfortunately, it's why a lot of Pacific Islanders aren't as bright as they should be. You know, they've capped themselves mentally because they've probably had a lot of domestic abuse growing up as a child, and they probably had a lot of trauma to the head playing rugby. And unfortunately, it limits a lot of your opportunities because no one wants a mentally damaged individual who can't manage their emotional well-being, let alone their health. So this is the long-term effects, guys, right? Unfortunately, we've seen what can happen short-term, right, with this kid who died recently, and that's not the greatest. And the hard thing to understand, guys, is that the brain is so fragile. We're not as strong as we think. We're so fragile human beings. But let's put that aside for now, and let's focus on how I even heard about this in the first place. I have a support system for my brain injury that I constantly speak to, and they informed me about it, and I was like, what is this stupidity? It made no sense to me when they were explaining it to me. And obviously I looked it up on YouTube, and what do I see? A bunch of Pacific Island YouTubers promoting and encouraging this level of barbaric idiocracy. It is so sad and so dumb to see a very rare thing where a bunch of islanders are, first of all, being viral within the virtual space, which is a nice thing for me to see, but for the wrong ways. I would rather see my Pacifica community being viral for their culture, for their beautiful beliefs, and to showcase their life in a beautiful and inspiring manner, not to showcase how stupid they can be by using their big heads to go clash at each other at high velocities. Because guys, if I was struggling with my speech, being able to see, being able to hear after my car crash, it's not going to be too very far off when two big islanders, especially if you got a big ass Tongan and a big ass Fijian running at each other full speed, it's going to cause some serious damage. But back to the influencers using this as a form of clout. How sad is that? Why are we following these YouTubers who are encouraging such a stupid level of idiocracy? Look, I get that they're messengers, but at the end of the day, guys, when you have a platform, you need to be so proactive and manage it in a way that it's going to be positive and that it's going to encourage people to accomplish their goals. And unfortunately, when you're encouraging people to be stupid and do this run it straight challenge, then you're also not taking into effect the repercussions that follow a brain injury if they do suffer one. Because first of all, there are no ways to know if you are suffering from a brain injury because it's invisible. So a lot of people could probably walk away from this, all of a sudden be suffering these painful and unbearable symptoms, and they don't know what to do, because at the end of the day, they decided to play the stupid game. You know? Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. And unfortunately, when you decided to play the stupid game on your own time, you don't get ACC. This is all on you, mate. You decided to go right straight. So all of a sudden, that person who has a brain injury can't really work at their job that they could anymore, because who you are before a brain injury.
What the WBC stands for, we be crooks, and the WBO, we don't even count that. So I'm the real champ. In order for them to be crowned champ, they gotta fight me. And only way they're gonna make some real money.
And who you are after are two very completely different people.
So what? I mean, look, that don't matter. Cooler already proved. I mean, Canelo already proved. You know Mayweather. Y'all keep on forgetting about the Mayweather Canelo fight. How badly he got dominated, right? Just give me the same.
Unfortunately, when you have a brain injury, the hardest thing to take into account is that you've just got to learn to cope with it. It's going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's not going to leave. It can heal slightly, but most of the time, it's there with you for good. And you will always be a lesser version of yourself prior to the brain injury. So guys, just take that into account. And also maybe look at who you're following. Look at who you're choosing to be the people that you look towards, or even pay any attention to, because one thing that I'm trying to do here, guys, is to uplift and to show people that they're capable of doing so much more than they realize it. But part of that is pushing out all the negative people in their lives and doubters, and also just understanding that there are a lot of people out there chasing clout who will encourage you to do the same for all the wrong reasons. And that's what we are not about. If you guys are going to chase clout, get the views, get the subs, that's totally fine, but do it in a meaningful way. Don't waste your image, don't potentially damage it by doing something so stupid and encouraging people to go out there, hurt themselves. It's very rare that you see smaller YouTubers trying to hold the bigger YouTubers accountable. So guys, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this today. I know it's very different to what I normally talk about, but I just really want you guys to know that I want to be a supportive and well-rounded leader within the YouTube influencer space. And I welcome any of you to please ask me any questions if you have any to do with brain injuries, because I'm an open book. I can easily tell you guys my experiences if you're eager to know more. But it's totally up to you guys. I'm only here to help. So without further ado, please guys, have a beautiful weekend. Just take this as a grain of salt. It's not an attack. I'm not trying to cause any commotion or controversy myself. I'm just trying to get some proactive steps into place so that people aren't just being encouraged to do this silly challenge, and rather just to hopefully think about it before you do it. So guys, have a beautiful weekend. Please stay safe. Look after the tool that you need to succeed, guys, because without this you will fail at life. Ooh, that's a hard way to leave it, but it's the truth. So without further ado, guys, Sage Kieran out. Peace.